Hello, can I get a sound check, please? Hi, Tina, can you hear me? All right, thank you. So we just went through the lovely town of Camp Verde. We asked the locals how you say it last night, and it's not Verde or Verde, it's Verde. And bear with me for a minute, I'm gonna get I decided to stop today to get everything situated safely instead of trying a no-hand route. And I don't have my GoPro with me today. I forgot to charge it last night, so I'll have to practice with that. It was a bit of an epic failure yesterday with that thing. It kept switching and turning off, and I didn't have my bike mount, so I'll do some more practicing with it, and hopefully I can get you a couple of views as we go along, so you can get a better view of what this place looks like. Just trying to get this mic just in the right spot. It's not too windy out today, so it should be okay. Try that. There's Mr. Joe ahead, and Matthew is about a quarter mile ahead. He's anxious to get going today, so he's going to go find our 13.16 rest stop. This is Camp Verde, and we're at about, I can't remember, about 4,000 feet elevation. Today we have a 3,000 foot climb ahead of us. We're not to the low point yet. We just came down a 7 mile, 6% grade on I-17, which was a fun but white knuckle experience. I'm very glad I have hydraulic brakes on this thing. So now we just went through Camp Verde, and now we're heading out through this river valley, where we're going to hit the low point of the valley at some point at the river, and then we'll start climbing, and it'll be about a 10 mile climb, 3,000 feet. The biggest climb we've done so far is 2,900 feet in over 31 miles, so you can see this is probably going to be our biggest climb so far. So we're just trying to mentally get prepared for it, kind of getting our legs rested up here as we go, not pushing ourselves too hard. It's going to be a long day. So I'm going to periscope now as we're going through this little river valley, because you don't want to listen to me while I'm grunting and huffing up that hill for 10 miles. Yeah. So Tina says use KSL, which is the pedaling method: kick, scrape, lift. And yeah, yesterday was good. I did a good job with that and increased my average speed by 2 miles an hour. Part of that was having the wind at my back, but that will be key on the hills. But I'll tell you what, using that method, it takes some practice, because it's firing the muscles in a way you just never have before. So you tend, when you get tired, to get out of that habit of using that formula, because it's just killer until you get used to it, and you just go back into your old habits, which is taking advantage of whichever leg muscle is the strongest. So Joe will usually, when he gets tired, he'll switch to his calves, because his calves are bigger than my quads. And Matthew's quads are pretty strong, so he'll stand up on the pedals and get himself up hills. And I'm somewhere in between, so I'll just kind of shift my pedaling to whichever muscle group is not burning at the moment, and then try to get into that KSL. Okay, so here we go. Flipping along here about 15 miles an hour. We stayed here in Camp Verde last night. We moved the RV yesterday from Yarnell to here. There's a really good spot here, and we'll be here for 2 days. Well, tonight, one more night, and then we'll move again tomorrow down to Holbrook, Arizona. So today we ride for, well, it's day 16 first of all, and it's, I don't know, sometime in the afternoon. It's about 60 degrees when we started, and I'm guessing it's about 65 now. And so day 16, today we ride for our mentors, and I just love this one because I love my mentors, and I'm glad I get a day to ride for them and think about them. So I'm going to go through really quick and just name off a bunch of mentors because it's their day. Oops, after I get my gear changed here. All right. So, let's see. First mentors in life are our parents. And so, if you want to go along with me, ask the question that's behind this post, which is, who are the mentors of my life? Who are the ones that have helped me be successful, and who are the ones that it didn't work out with the relationship? Who are the ones that are still in my life? Because sometimes mentoring relationships don't work out. It's important to recognize that. But just ask yourself, who are the mentors of my life right now? Who are the ones that have been there throughout my life? And if you can't name them, take some time, write them down, and try and write down the lessons that you learned from them, or what they were there for in your life, how they helped you move to the next level. So my parents, number one. So my dad, well, coming into the world is my mom. Right there, first day. First thing she taught me about was love. That's coming out of that. Being born is a scary thing, and right away you're put there with your mother, cuddled, and you feel this incredible thing called love, which I'm sure you feel on the inside of the womb maybe, but it's the first time you're outside, you're there with your mom. So my mom is my greatest mentor because she taught me about love and has continued to do that throughout my life. She's always there giving freely, and that's what love is. It's free. So thank you, Mom. The next mentor in my life was my dad, who also taught me about love, but in a different way. And I'd have to say my dad taught me about business. He taught me about expectations, about responsibilities, accountability. He taught me what it means to be a provider and a protector as a husband and as a man. He taught me how to respect women and so many other subtle things. And then he also taught me how to work. Both my parents were great mentors right at the beginning of my life. They took me to work with them, put me to work, gave me the opportunity to learn, make mistakes at an early age in a controlled environment. My dad was did cabinets. He's a fantastic craftsman, and I loved going to work with him in the summers when I was out of school. And I learned a lot of my hands-on work ethic with him, and then my mom mirrored that in the office, taught me how to do office work, which is ultimately where I ended up in my career. So a lot of those skills I learned from my mom: computer skills, organization. So thank you to my parents for teaching me how to work, teaching me how to love, teaching me about business. And I had other mentors through school. I always had a teacher that would kind of latch onto me, and I would latch onto them. We'd have a mentoring relationship. We'd check in with each other. Teachers are great mentors for young kids. That's the first time out of the house when you go to school, you realize there are other people in this world that care about you too, besides your parents, which is a really cool thing to learn. So, Mrs. Clark, Mr. Densley in high school, so many great mentors there that touched my life in ways beyond the school books. Great people. And I'm proud of all the teachers in my family, and especially Jenny Warner, Tina's sister. She's an awesome teacher, and is a great mentor to many people. And then in high school, I hooked up with a guy named Roy Adams and his wife Janet Rommel, and both geologists. And he created a project for me and let me work with him for the summer as a volunteer, learn what it was to be a geologist. At the age of 17, took me out to do field work. Man, what a great experience. I was Matthew's age. I learned a lot of professional skills and life skills from Roy. And that was 21 years ago that we met. And although I don't talk to him on a regular basis these days, I know I can call him or Janet anytime. Go visit him, I can ask them for advice or help. As mentors, they're still there. So, love those guys. They set me on an incredible path as a geologist, showed me how to do it, showed me how to get into college, showed me how to study and do those things, how to think about geology and science. So, they have had a huge impact in my life, and I can't thank them enough. And I had a great professor named John Bartley, Dr. Bartley at the University of Utah, who took over my mentoring. Roy moved out of town. He was overseas, and so I was able to connect up with John. Dr. Bartley was a great influence on me as well. I did my senior project with him. He's a very deep thinker, very critical thinker, and I learned an incredible amount from him, which led, he was friends with my graduate advisor when I went to get my master's. That's how I found out about him, and so that mentoring relationship led to another, where I was at for 2 years in Kansas getting my master's with Doug Walker, another great guy. And first day at Chevron, I was assigned a mentor. I was assigned a mentor, and his name was Tim Elam, and I also had a mentor as an intern before I started working with Chevron, Larry Nauer. These guys, that is what they're there for. They love to mentor, love to help the young folks coming in, and it was a great program that Chevron had, but even beyond that, Tim Ela and Larry Nauer, they took it beyond that, and they were my friends. They checked in with me weekly, listened, helped me through those bumps in my career at the beginning. Great mentors, and many more followed along. I don't know how this works in my life. I don't know if it's the same for other people, but it's like being on a monkey bar, where you're swinging from one rung to the next. And every rung in my life, every time I swing, there's a mentor that shows up. And it doesn't happen, naturally all the time. Sometimes I have to seek them out, but I'm always aware. And they're there, and for just what I need, and they help me move to the next level in my life. So I just love my mentors. And when I left Chevron, I got a new mentor. His name was Ryan Birkenfeld. He was our exploration manager. He hired me, and he taught me how to think outside the box and start thinking outside of that corporate box that I had put myself in at Chevron. So, great guy. He puzzles me to this day how he ticks and thinks, but I learned a lot from him in the year that I worked with him, and that set me on the path that I'm on today. It's just, and the next rung was Jay and China Leonard at Platte River Resources. I went swinging from that limb at Apache with Ryan, and I caught onto that rung, and they reached out and grabbed me. And man, it was a tumultuous relationship with Jay, but I have total respect for that guy. I learned so much in that year I was there with them about running, what it means to run a business, and the responsibilities and accountabilities there, which is exactly what I needed at that time in my life, because I was thinking about how to do that myself. So great people over in Boulder, Colorado, and a great group of people to work with in that shop too. So from there, went to Pioneer and spent 2 years there, and I hooked up with a mentor there, and his name is Manish Singh, and he's younger than me, but we had the same passions for living freely, and he had an edge and a line on how to do that. And so for about a year, I spent a lot of time with Manish talking about how to do this, and he put me on the path to other mentors, BWW, Brett Worldwide, and incredible people that can think outside the box and think about their lives as being freeborn. Fantastic. And at that same time, Joe came into my life. We reconnected after 20 years. I ended up moving into a place close to his. Oh, hold on, I think we missed our turn, didn't we?
We're supposed to turn around.
Yeah, I think Matthew's calling us, trying to tell us, hey, you're missing your turn.
Matthew called Matthew, because I think he's...
I can't call him because I'm periscoping, but...
Oh, let me try to call him.
I think he's got the route. He's at 13.16 already. He's waiting for us. It's just right over here.
Okay,
so let's just turn down here. I know, it's because we missed the turn. So yeah, Joe came into my life about a year ago. We reconnected after 20 years, and man, here I am on this bike ride. But again, he showed up right when I was asking these questions. It's not like he wasn't always there, but I finally started asking those questions that he could answer. So maybe that's what it is with mentors. They show up when you're ready to ask the questions, and when you're willing to listen to the answers that they have. And I got to mention another mentor in my life, and she may not like me, calling her out like this in public, but she has been there since I was a teenager. She's how many years now? I want to say 25 or 6 years. That's Nan Pei. She is an incredible person. She came into my life at a crucial time for me when... I'll get him. Joe just went right by him. Call him. We just keep missing each other. We just went right by Matthew. Hold on just a second. Hey Joe, missed him. Went right by. Yeah. Matthew's in this shady tree under here. We didn't see him. We call him Shady Matthew. So Nan, you're an awesome lady. So much to offer to so many people. You have a big heart, and you're always there, and I appreciate you. I still call Nan and talk to her. She's had a great path in her life, and I just love watching what she does. So here I am, all these mentors around me. I feel like they kind of form a circle around me every day. And if I have a question or a concern or a doubt, I can go to that circle and ask for help. And that's what mentors are. They say it takes a village to raise someone. And for me, that's my village, my mentors. And even though we may not talk very often, I know they're still there. And that provides me strength in my life. So thank you to all my mentors, and thanks for listening to me talk about all of them, even though you don't know them. As I was talking, I hope you were able to reflect on the mentors in your life. And write them down, write down the lessons you've learned, because what's cool about that is as you start to get a little older, you get to mentor others. Like this guy here, Matthew. I'm getting to mentor him on this trip. Joe and I are both, and Dina are all mentoring him, and it's great to see the growth and progress that he's going through right now. And I've had mentor, and I always felt it a privilege to be able to pay that forward from the mentoring I received. So give a shout out to your mentors. I'm going to send them all emails today and tell them how much I love them, and just pay it forward. All right, we are going to take our apple break here at 13.16 miles. And we're going to get ready to climb this big hill. We're at the river here at the low point. So we'll see you on the other side if we can still walk. Hope to be talking to you tomorrow, coming down the other side of that hill, or the mountain. All right, love you all. Peace out.